When I was in 8th grade, I won first place in a writing contest. And this was very surprising to me because kind of like this speech, I wrote it at the last minute. And unlike the speech though, I didn't think it was any good. But I did win, and with that, something occurred to me. If I could win first place in a writing contest with an essay that I'd written the night before, that I didn't even think was my best work, then clearly I was destined to be the literary voice of my generation. I took great comfort in fact as I walked the halls at school, sat in classrooms, ate lunch with peers who were all blissfully unaware that they ate, sat, and walked next to greatness. But then the worst possible thing happened. I started comparing myself to other people. I read works by famous authors and certain classmates and came to the conclusion that I was nowhere near as good as them. I started to fall back on the belief that I was mediocre and there was nothing that I could do about it. The thought scared me so much that it pervaded every aspect of my life. I didn't understand why people called me smart. There were plenty of kids whose grades were better than mine. I didn't believe when people wanted to be my friend, it wasn't particularly cool. When people would say that I was literally the nicest person, I would cringe at their incorrect usage of the word literally while making a mental list of people who are far more deserving of that title. My mom, my husband, my friends, they all tried to get me to understand that this was irrational thinking, but being the stubborn person that I am, I was unconvinced. And this became my life. I was drowning in a sea of self-doubt, feeling helpless, desperate to better myself and my situation, but unsure that I even could. However, I feared for my sanity and the sanity of those around me if I stayed in retail, so I knew I had to try. Enter in Blue Ridge Community College. It had been 5 years since I'd been in school, and I was terrified for reasons that are way too many to list. But I wish I'd known at the time that I didn't have anything to be scared about. One of the very first things that set me up for success was learning that I was going to be the recipient of a scholarship. My husband and I did not have money for school, and my single mother of 5 couldn't help either. So not only did this scholarship mean that an incredible burden was lifted, but it also showed me that there were people out there on my side wanting me to succeed before I even started. And my professors have been instrumental in this as well. I was completely unprepared for how invested my professors would be with my success and how easy they made it to be successful. Professor Lanigan, whose spirited lectures are so endlessly entertaining that I never missed a class. Professor Calhoun, whose belief in and nurturing of my writing skills made me actually want to write again. Dr. Campbell, whose hilarity and sunny disposition made me actually want to get up for a 9:30 a.m. class. And she and I worked together to fund the psychology club here at Blue Ridge, of which I am the president, a feat of which that I never thought that I would ever be able to do. Professors would come to me to ask if they could write me letters of recommendation for whatever I needed. They asked me if I would consider being a tutor. They stopped to chat with me in the hallways. They made me feel like I was anything but mediocre. And yeah, okay, the straight A's helped a little too. I came to Blue Ridge to be educated, to make a better life for my family, for myself. But the other things I got from Blue Ridge were so much more important than that. I learned that all those irrational things that I thought about myself were not true. I was smart, I was nice, and I didn't need to compare myself to anybody else. The incredible support that I found here has forced me to see that I can do, be, and am much more than I give myself credit for. Take this speech, for instance. I am not a fan of public speaking. When they asked me to do this, every cell in my body said, say no. Don't do it. But when the president of the college handpicks you for this because he has so much faith in you, you begin to have a little faith in yourself. And I wouldn't be able to be here discovering these things about myself, meeting these incredible educators and friends, if it wasn't for the amazing generosity of you donors. This is my 3rd year of the scholarship luncheon, and each year I've gotten to sit beside and talk with my donors, Vicki and Terry Slavaw. They're phenomenal people and inspirational, and taught me the concept of paying it forward, which I plan to do in my career as a school counselor, to help kids like me understand that there's someone out there, even perfect strangers, who want to help their dreams come true. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to discover the person that I always hoped I could be.